You remember when I had to give blood for your friends to get drugs? You remember you took me to that? You thought that was right? Hi, I am Natasha Barnes Owens, and welcome to another episode of the Ride Along Conversations. Today's guest, I am so elated to have Quniana. She is your mama trauma healer / coach, if you will. I am so excited because a lot of us have mama trauma, all right? So come take a ride with me and let's just see exactly what it is that she likes to say to us about this mama trauma and how she can help you put on your gloves or take them off to deal with your mama trauma. Come on, take a ride with me. I am Quniana Futrell, known as Author Q, and I am a champion life coach helping you release your mama trauma. Look, y'all, I am taking a stroll. Yes. With the fabulous Quniana. Oh God, she said it. Look, and she said it right. Right, I said it right. If you were to see her name written, y'all, you would say all types of things. But what I will say is that you are known as the mama trauma healer. That's it. Okay, so how did we come to this? Child, you want the short or the long version? Okay, what we got time for in the vehicle? That's all I want to know. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. With technology is so great. We can slice it however you want to do it. Okay? I love it. Your version. So my version is this, right? So I grew up with a mama that I had some trauma with, right? If we want to go ahead and just point blank period that thing. Do. So I have always been just a transparent, real person, right? And so when it comes to my relationship with my mom, it's no secret, right? I grew up, she was incarcerated on drugs, off of drugs, just really had her own story that was very painful once I finally got to know all about, sir ain't gonna stop, okay? Sir, we got a whole production going on. A whole show going on. Okay, anyway. So, she had her own story, she had her own traumas, her own things that she didn't heal from or deal with. And so it really spilled over to her using drugs and just doing a whole lot of other things to numb her pain, which caused a lot of interruption in our relationship. And so I remember having points where I hated this lady. I'm talking about pure hatred. And I was so bitter and angry toward her. But just doing my own healing work, I learned that she had a story too. And I learned grace with her. I learned to forgive her. I learned to love her even in her addiction. I learned in her addictive state. I learned to love her for who she was and just appreciate her for being my mom and not expect what the world says a mother should be. That's it. All these okay, great. She ain't gonna bake the cookies, you know what I'm saying? She can't be left alone. She ain't doing none of that, sis. I'm signing my own stuff all through school. The only one that the little concerts and stuff. Ain't nobody out there, okay? Ain't nobody out there. Ain't nobody out there, okay? But we still here. But the great thing about it is you understood. Yeah, it took the Lord though. I'm gonna tell you that. You understood her assignment. Hello. And you understood your assignment. Absolutely. And you still want nobody gonna be out there? Baby, they weren't out there. But it's okay. I met everyone for my kids. See? That's the thing. And every mother is different. Every father is different. There's no cookie cut type way to be a parent because every single child, just like when you look at your children. Come on. You know for a fact that this one right here about to go off the deep edge. This is gonna be all right. Okay. And we all know our kids. One I gotta knock upside the head, one I gotta look at. Right. Listen, yeah. So you said, your mom was incarcerated. Oh, yeah. And so you said you had hatred. Oh, boy, yeah. I hated that lady. Hated her. Because honestly, I'm going to tell you why. I felt like she was doing this stuff intentionally. Like, I thought sis had a whole game plan to ruin my life and to be a horrible mother. That's what I thought. All the while, this lady loved me like no other, brags about me, speaks highly of our relationship. And I'm looking at this fool like she is retarded. She crazy. She is special needs. What's wrong? What's wrong, lady? We not living in the same world. Right, we're like, lady, did you live life? What happened? Was you there? Right, was you? You remember when I had to give blood for your friends to get drugs? You remember you took me to that? You thought that was right?
And I remember even when she was living, she said something like when my books and everything was first starting to come out, she said something like, well, I just want to know, where my portion is of all this, because, you wouldn't even have this story if it weren't for me.
Oh my God.
I said, sis, that ain't nothing to brag about.
Right.
That ain't nothing to brag about. Sis was serious though.
Right. Extremely serious.
Serious, baby.
Do I keep straight? Look, y'all.
Look, baby, you can keep straight or turn. It's up to you.
Oh, we're gonna keep it straight.
Let's go.
So she said it was because
sis wanted to know.
Now, did that, because you know how sometimes, you know how sometimes when we say, we're not going to say nothing, like if your man or your girl, whatever, or anybody cutting up and you be like, I'm going to be good. I went to a good service, got the
I'm saying
I'm
that.
Be good. I'm not going to cut up. And you know how you can just circle back? You be like, So did you have a moment where it was just like, I'm just going to circle back and just like read you your rights right quick?
Oh, I've read her rights plenty of times.
Okay.
So whether she was locked up or not.
So when she made that statement, like, so when was it not a trigger or not a visible trigger? Because you know how people know how to, push those buttons.
Absolutely.
So when was it no longer? When did she not jerk your chain?
When I did my healing work.
And so what age were you?
I was a full grown up. Full grown up. I ain't learned to forgive her till I was fully grown up. Like, had a whole kid and
she was alive.
Yeah, I absolutely did. And it was at a moment, like, it was a whole Color Purple experience. I honestly heard God say, you have to forgive her because she did the best she knew how to do.
And that's the thing. And like I when I talk to my kids or just people in general or other children and say, well, my mama not this and I love you because my mama don't do this with me. And I just say, look, I'm not here to bash your mother at all, or your father. Your mother did the best that she could with the resources that she had available.
Listen,
at the time.
Sis had her own deck of cards.
Right.
She might have had no joker in there.
Right.
She might have had no spades, and instead of throwing it in, she decided to keep trying, and it just didn't work out the way you thought.
And who knows that because of what she knew that she was doing to you, was even pushing her further and further into addiction.
Honestly, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you got to numb the pain some kind of way, and if you don't learn those coping skills, how to heal, or how to get help, this is a cycle.
Yeah, because it's normal.
So now that you have done the work, and then what we always like to say is that it's a work in progress. It's always
healing is a journey. Good Lord,
it's a whole journey.
Yeah.
So what other great things have come out of you doing the work?
Oh, so me doing the work, it really provided me with the opportunity to make sure that my mom and our relationship was good before I had to bury her, which was very unexpected.
Wow.
So I legit picked her up from prison October of 2020, and within 24 hours we found her dead from an overdose. Not even 24 hours later, not even a whole day had passed. We had spent that whole Friday looking for. We picked her up on a Thursday, and
so when you
spent the whole day looking for her.
When you picked her up and you dropped her off, what did you say in your head? Because we in our head, like that one side will say something, and then that other side will say something else.
It was definitely a war going on, and it's funny because I have, for whatever reason, I videoed that whole day after she called me and said, come pick me up. It was like God was like, you need to record this. And I literally have the moment where I said, look, she just called me. I don't know how I feel about it. And when I say I had absolutely no peace about it, but I just kept saying, God, I trust you. God, I trust you for whatever this will be, whatever will come of this, I trust you. But I had no idea what it would be. And I knew that I was so uneasy about it. I'm telling you, I had no peace. I went to get my hair done that day, and my girl was like, oh my God, you okay? And I was like, she called me, I gotta go pick her up, but I said, I don't know how I feel. She said, yeah, I could see it all over your face. Yeah, but I still went, still anticipating. And even after I dropped her off, it was just, all right, I'll see you tomorrow for breakfast. We're gonna do whatever, the kids are missing school, yada, yada. And thought nothing beyond that other than, okay, God, I'm trusting you. I don't know what's happening, but I'm trusting you. Yeah, like legit. And then bam.
We are where it all happens. I see, yes. I see we have the tissue. We have the boxing gloves. So exactly what is the fight? So when you're looking at a person or you're counseling a person with mama trauma, exactly what does that look like in a, maybe let's say a female, a grown woman? What does mama trauma look like? How does that show up?
Man, how doesn't it show up? It shows up in her parenting. It shows up in her being this overachiever, going after every title, every degree. It shows up in her needing to be seen all the time because mama never saw her. It shows up in her not being able to look at herself in the mirror. Like if you ever meet a grown woman who say, oh, no, I don't do pictures. Why not, sis? See, I hear that. I want to know why you don't do pictures, right? Because it's deeper than just, my hair ain't done today.
Right.
No, it ain't today.
Every time.
It ain't today, sis. Right. Nah. And so it shows up even in her eating styles. It shows up in her how she works, right? So for the woman who is such a hustler, who come home and ain't sleeping because she got to make sure everybody eat, everybody taken care of, got to make sure the laundry done, ain't going to sleep till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And she's exhausted. And I can see the exhaustion in her eyes. It's that trauma right there that I know stemmed from something that tells you you don't deserve to rest because she rested too much. She was lazy. Your mama ain't do much. You know, you only saw her every now and then doing a little something. She kind of lived a little mediocre, right? She was in the streets, right? So you gonna make sure. What?
Not to let that woman.
You ain't gonna be like her. Heck no, you'll die before you do that. And unbeknownst to you, you don't even know. Subconsciously, you're killing yourself. Subconsciously, newsflash, you've become her. I can't even tell you how many times that I've shared that. That's when the tissue box, that's when that happens. Because you never in your life imagine you would be her because you're not on drugs like her. You don't cuss your kids out like her. You ain't locked up like her. Yeah, but you still just as busy and still have that same addictive behavior in something else just like her. Yeah.
Wow. So how does it show up in a man?
Oh boy. So funny enough, in our last season 2 project of Where My Mom, we actually had our first male to sign up and be a part. And just to hear him say that he was in maximum security prisons, getting transferred and getting moved out so many different times, and all he wanted was his mother. And I'm talking about this a big 6 foot tall, this ain't no little guy. This a big guy. That all the little boy wanted was his mother, right? You'll see it in his relationships. Can't keep a woman, always with somebody different every time you turn around, because one of them will say something triggering that reminds him of her, and he'll never.
And I guess for a woman, all they're saying is, how can I help you heal?
How can I?
Right.
You can't.
They don't even know, the men don't even know the triggers
at all.
Themselves.
At all. Because how can I look at this as mama trauma? Because that's bad.
Yeah.
I can't look at my mother negative, right? I can't look at her in this light as if she did something to me. But she did.
Right.
And it's okay. Everybody has flaws. And mama didn't know that working 8 jobs to take care of all y'all and never was there for any of you. And now you had to grow up at 4 to be the man of the house.
But like we were talking about earlier, it's all about the forgiveness part too, because when you just stated mama was working 8 jobs because perhaps maybe daddy wasn't there, or maybe, he didn't have the job that she needed him to have to help ends to meet. But at what point do we say, okay, that was the hand that I was dealt, what can I do to make my life better or to make those around me? Because when you're miserable, everybody is miserable too.
Yeah. So you do it at the point of you realizing that it's a problem, right? So you know it's a problem when it's affecting your health. You know it's a problem when your nervous system all toe up, your anxiety, your chest just pumping. We ain't gonna call it anxiety, right?
Right.
Where you can't, your thoughts are always racing. You can't seem to catch them, right? You always feel like you're this hamster on the wheel. At that point, something has to be done. When you recognize that it's a problem, that's when it's time to get help, period. Whenever that is.
Right.
It's time to get help. Absolutely.
And sometimes we put like a deadline on people.
Oh, yeah. Like, girl, you 50.
Like, why? You're right.
Yeah.
Do it. But
getting help. What you doing? You want to come?
Right. You want to join me?
She got openings. You want to come? I'll pay for your first session.
See?
Yeah.
And those are, look, with you saying that, that's a nice gift to give. You know, it's
I'll take that over a pedicure any day.
Any day. Thank you so much for joining me.
I appreciate you.
I love this. Let me just say, I had the most amazing time with Quniana today. It was like I knew her from like a girlfriend from back in the day. We had the most amazing time riding along, but we also had to get into the nooks and cranny of relationships with your moms and how she was very transparent with us and talked about her relationship with her mom and all of the trauma that it caused and also the healing that took place. So I hope that this has helped you as well as it helped me. So thank you again for another episode of the Ride Along Conversations. Thanks for watching another episode of Ride Along Conversations. For more of these types of episodes, you can click here or here. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again. Come on and take a ride.